Today, I'm going to teach you what to do with your soil test when you get your results back and give you 3 simple tips to follow to get the most from your soil test. So my soil test results have finally come back from the lab.
You've got mail.
So if this is your first soil test, I want you to follow my very first tip, and that is, I want you to relax. Remember, this is a soil test, not a cancer screening. Everything is gonna be just fine. Sure, we want all of those micronutrients and macronutrients in optimal range, but that is a goal, not an expectation. Now, I am not an agronomist. You know, one of those really smart science people that study agriculture for a profession. But I like to do a soil test at least once per year, just to tell me what nutrients are available in my soil, as well as my pH. And that just helps me make the best decision for the health of my turf and doing the right thing for the environment. Think about it. If my soil was high in potassium and I kept applying fertilizers that were high in potassium, do you think that's good for my lawn? Do you think that that's good for the environment? No. And so doing a soil test is the only way I'm gonna know that. Let's take a trip inside, pull up my soil test, and show you the results, and give you tip number 2. Let's take a look at the basic layout of a soil test. While they all might look different, they're all laid out very similarly. So tip number 2 is I want you to focus on 2 basic sections of the soil test. Number 1 being your pH. Remember that pH is a measure of this soil's alkalinity or acidity. Most turf grasses like pH between 6 and 7.5. So if you get your results back and you're not in that range, use lime to raise it or elemental sulfur to lower it. Always contact your local extension office or consult a professional for the amounts of material needed to move the number. And don't be surprised by the amount it takes, because it takes a lot. pH has a direct effect on the nutrients availability within your soil, so it's important that we work to correct it. So the second area that I really want you to focus on are your macronutrients, your nitrogen, your phosphorus, and your potassium. As you can see, based on my soil test, my nitrogen levels are extremely low. But that is not of any concern because nitrogen moves extremely fast through the soil, thus why we have to keep adding nitrogen to our lawns every single month. My phosphorus and potassium levels look great. And a lot of that is because I've been using starter fertilizers over the last 2 years to help move those numbers in the right direction. And it's working. Now, let's talk about micronutrients for a second. Sulfur, calcium, magnesium, manganese, zinc. While these are important, they're not something that I like to focus on because I'm not having a particular issue in the lawn. Most of them are in optimal range, a few are slightly low, and a couple of them are high. It's not something that I'm going to worry about. Let's take a look at the soil test kit from Lowe's. When looking at the pH, according to their test, my pH is a 6.1 as compared with the Yard Mastery of a 5.82, so slightly higher but similar. Something that this test offers over the Yard Mastery is a test for your soil's CEC. And CEC stands for cation exchange capacity. Basically, it's the total amount of exchangeable cations available for absorption in your soil. In layman's terms, it's basically how much nutrient capacity your soil has. Looking at some of the other nutrients, potassium and calcium, my nutrients are slightly high, but again, not something that I'm going to worry about as these move throughout the soil. So overall, I feel like I'm in a really good spot. I'm not experiencing any issues in the lawn, and according to my soil test, I have no major corrections to make. And so that leads me to my last tip, tip number 3. If you see something that's not right or you're having concerns, reach out to a professional. Your local extension office or even some lawn care companies have a turf scientist on staff, and they can advise you on what's best and what's needed for your particular lawn. It's really important that you react or don't react accordingly. This could save you a bunch of time and a bunch of headaches in the future. And it's important that you're doing the right thing not only for you, but for your lawn and the environment. So that's it. I'm all set. I now know all of the applications that I need to make in my lawn to set myself up for a great year. And that is the purpose of a soil test. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video series. It has been so much fun to make. I'm so excited for the 2025 lawn season. Let's go. My name is Devin. I'm the DIY lawn coach, and I can't wait to see you in the lawn. Peace.